With us is the Toyota Corolla Cross. Let's check it out. The Corolla Cross is one of Toyota's compact SUV models. Despite that, it actually competes with other subcompact SUVs like the Honda HR-V and Mazda CX-30. It is also one of the first mainstream vehicles to be made available with the hybrid powertrain in the Philippines, and that is what we have today. This is the 2023 Toyota Corolla Cross 1.8V hybrid, and it's priced at 1,665,000 Philippine pesos. Looking at the exterior of the Corolla Cross, it features a sleek and sporty front fascia with a large grille with the blue accented Toyota logo, signifying that this is a hybrid. The full LED headlights with DRLs also feature a blue accent, which again say that this is the hybrid version. We also have LED fog lights on the bumper. Towards the side, there isn't much to talk about. It's quite simple. The wheels are 18 inches and are wrapped in Michelin tires. We also have the Corolla Cross name on the chrome piece separating the roof from the body, which is a nice touch. Now looking at the rear, we're not fans. This does definitely look a lot better on the GRS variant, but anyway, it still does look good. The taillights are LED, and we also have LED rear fog lights. Another thing is the Corolla Cross name here. The Corolla name seems to have been an afterthought. Better if they just put both on the side. Once you open the manual tailgate, it reveals 440 liters of space, which is enough for today's standards, especially in the segment. We can pretty much fit everything that we need on a day-to-day basis. So now we're inside the Corolla Cross 1.8V hybrid, and if you're familiar with the Corolla Altis, this should all be familiar to you as well because they look very similar, although there are some slight differences. So the first difference is when it comes to materials, because here in the Corolla Cross, we still have this soft touch portion over here. It is what makes up most of the dashboard, and then up here we have this hard touch plastic area. So we have soft here and hard touch on top. So the Corolla Altis doesn't have that, and that's pretty much it when it comes to differences. It still looks really good. It does look a bit high for me, but it's still really good as well, although I would prefer something like what you'd see in the Honda HR-V. And then going back to materials, also for the door panel, we have soft touch here on top, some hard touch plastic on the side, and our leather armrest down here. And also the stitching on the door panel is actually real, unlike here in the dashboard, which is fake. Then moving on to the steering wheel, it's still the same steering wheel you'll find in the Corolla Altis, in the Camry, and RAV4 if I'm not mistaken. And it does look good, although it does look a bit large. It is also tilt and telescopic, so there we go, tilt and telescopic. So that's always really helpful. Then for the horn, it's just your normal Toyota horn, something you'd find in the Toyota Vios. It's actually weird because the Avanza, Velos actually have better horns. But anyway, we can always change that. And also here on our steering wheel are our controls for our adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and the distance for the adaptive cruise control, because this Corolla Cross is equipped with Toyota Safety Sense. And then we also have here some audio controls and our controls for the instrument cluster. And for this variant, we have a digital instrument cluster. So on the sides, we have some analog gauges for our fuel, temperature. On the left, our eco meter, so it tells us if we're driving very economically, being with this a hybrid, and or if we're charging the electric motor. Then in the middle, we also have that digital display again. So this one shows our speedometer, clock, then lots of information. Although I just have to say that the graphics here could be a bit better. It's kind of starting to look old, especially if you use the analog speedometer setting, and some of the information are quite small. So hopefully either we see a new Corolla Cross soon, or maybe an update to this. Then moving on to the infotainment system, this is an area that is good, but at the same time, there are some things that it could improve. So we have here an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, and thankfully, this is no longer the CRT type that you would see in the initial release of the Corolla Altis. And then also, this is not the one that you'd see in the Corolla Cross, the gasoline version. Anyway, it's pretty good, so it's very easy to navigate, it's very responsive, and it also has your hard buttons on the side and some knobs on the sides. So on the left is our tuning knob, and on the right our volume knob. So I think this is misplaced, so the volume knob should be on the left while the tuning knob should be on the right. So this is designed for right-hand drive markets. And other information we can find here is with the vehicle information. So we actually have information about the powertrain. So we also have our energy flow meter over here. It shows us when the engine is powering the electric motor, where the power is going, and if the electric motor is powering the wheels of the vehicle. And also, of course, this has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so that's always really nice. So there, it looks really good. It's typical Apple CarPlay, although the graphics could be a bit more high definition next time. And then also, it actually sounds pretty decent for a Toyota sound system, so that's really good. Then moving down, we have our dual zone automatic climate control. So we have knobs, buttons, and a display. That's something that we really appreciate because it's simple, it looks good, it's easy to use. So it's basic, everything is good with this climate control system. Then moving down, we have our single USB port. We do have some blank spaces here, but that's okay. Then over here, we have some storage. We can put here our keys. So we have our car key and our house key. So we can put those over there. Then over here, we have our drive mode selector, our stability control off button, and our EV mode. So if the battery is charged enough, we can use EV mode. We'll talk about that more later. Then over here, just our traditional gear shifter. So it's pretty good. So keeping it simple, that's what Toyota does best, and they really excelled in making this easy, of course, and it feels really good as well. And if you go into reverse, kind of hear that sounds kind of annoying, honestly, but we do have parking sensors both front and back. And also in reverse, of course, we have our reverse camera over here, and we do have some settings with it. So we have our guidance lines, you can choose what kind we want, and then we also have our wide angle and narrower view. So it's something that like you'd see in a Honda. Quality is not the best, but this will do, especially considering that the Corolla Cross is kind of getting old already. Then over here, we have two cup holders and our center armrest over here with a 12-volt power outlet inside, and the storage is decently sized as well. Then for the seats, these are the same ones you'd find the Corolla Altis. They're pretty decent, so they support you really well, and they also feel comfortable. So I didn't find any problem with these so far in my time with the car. And also we have perforated leather, of course leather, white stitching, which looks really nice. So it's pretty good. Then the passenger side is manual, and this one, my seat, is power adjustable. And now we're here at the back of the Corolla Cross, and I must say that it's just okay. So there's really nothing special here. We only have two aircon vents and two USB ports down there. Then for the seats, it's actually pretty good, so that's okay. Same material as in front, leathers with perforated leather, and then our white stitching. Then here in the door panel, we still have soft touch material, so that's really good. Good job there with Toyota. And then of course our leather armrest over here. Then we do have a cup holder here in the door, and it can actually fit my bottle over here, so you can see that now. And also I also like how it's placed up here instead of down there, so you don't have to reach for it, especially if you're eating. And then over here, legroom, it's pretty okay. The Honda HR-V offers a lot more than this. Then it's about the same as what you'd find in a Nissan Kicks. Then also we have one pocket over here, so none here in the behind the driver's seat, only on the passenger side. And then for the width, we can fit here two adults comfortably, then maybe a smaller one in the middle. Then headroom is also pretty good, so no complaints there at all. Then here our center armrest with two cup holders, so it's pretty big, so I actually really like this. So I guess now we can take this on a test drive. So now we're driving the Corolla Cross Hybrid, and right now we're going at lower speeds, so we're actually driving fully on electric power. So before we enter the main road, let's talk about what's under the hood. So this is powered by a 1.8 liter gasoline engine that is paired to an electric motor. So the gasoline engine produces 98 horsepower and 142 Newton meters of torque paired to a CVT. Then the electric motor produces 72 horsepower. So combined, they actually produce 122 horsepower. So again, right now we're driving at a really low speed. We're going around 10 kilometers per hour because there's a dirt road, and we're driving fully on electric power right now. So it's of course really quiet right now, and the gasoline engine will kick in around 20 kilometers per hour. So once you do speed up, that's when it will kick in. And also, like I mentioned earlier, this car has EV mode. So as long as the battery is charged enough, you can actually see it here in the infotainment system or here in the instrument cluster. You'll be able to drive this fully on electric power. And of course, when you're driving really slowly and again on fully electric power, the car sounds like an electric vehicle. So it sounds futuristic, it sounds really nice. Then when it comes to acceleration, we'll be able to see it now. So we're entering the highway now, so just wait.
One eternity later.
Okay, let's merge. Now the gas engine actually kicked in, and you can feel that it does need a little bit more power. Now once you are on the road, you will feel that the Corolla Cross could give you more. So when you need to accelerate, need to merge, you will feel a bit underpowered. So you can also hear the engine right now. It doesn't sound the fastest, but it is okay as it is. So power delivery is actually decent. It's actually pretty responsive, so there is no lag in this vehicle. And then you can also feel a decent amount of torque. It's not Nissan Kicks level of torque because of that fully electric drive, but it's still good as it is. Of course, it's really good to drive when you're inside the city, so no problems at all when it comes to driving inside the city. It feels really good. It's really comfortable to drive. Of course, it's really smooth given that it's a hybrid. When it comes to steering, it actually feels pretty good. That's something that I was surprised with this car, because it actually has a little bit of weight in it, and that's something that I really like, because you can feel that it's really direct. You can feel that you're really connected with the road, and it's actually to a point that the car actually feels engaging, which I was really surprised about. Also, when it comes to handling, you can feel that the vehicle is very stable. It's actually really smooth as well, so it's a really smooth drive. The steering won't be shaking at higher speeds, and you will feel confident while you're driving on the road. And when it comes to taking corners, it also feels good because there's very minimal body roll, given that the car is actually really low. And then you will also feel that it's very stable. Then when it comes to ride quality, of course, this is really good. It's a crossover, and no complaints there at all. So it absorbs bumps really well. It just feels really comfortable anywhere you go. When it comes to NVH, that is where it could use some improvement, because road noise is actually a bit loud. So that's the lane departure warning, by the way, because I failed to use the turn signals. But anyway, road noise is actually quite loud when it comes to highway speeds. When you're going around 108 or maybe 80, 90, there is a lot of road noise. And then there is the possibility, though, that the tires may be just old, because this particular unit already has 20,000 kilometers on it. And then when the gas engine kicks in while you're idling, it's not the smoothest, so it's actually enough to nudge the car a bit forward while parked. So I think Toyota could really improve that aspect. When it comes to visibility, they have no complaints as well, because we have a really large view outside, and then we also have this quarter window over here at the door, so it really helps. And the side mirror placement is also really good. Of course, we also have blind spot monitoring, so there won't be a problem when you need to change lanes if you cannot see the vehicle in your blind spot. Also, I forgot to mention, let's go back to acceleration. When it comes to driving on the highway, you will have to give the car a little bit more push, especially when merging. And then when you're overtaking, you will also feel the need to do that. Overall, the Corolla Cross may not be the most engaging vehicle when it comes to engine performance, but when it comes to comfort, when it comes to fuel economy, which we'll just talk about in just a bit, when it comes to the looks, and it's something that's already pretty good as it is. So now, the most important part about this vehicle being a hybrid vehicle is fuel economy. So driving inside the city, it's actually surprising, because I was able to do as much as 30 kilometers per liter. So this actually is more fuel efficient inside the city. When it comes to highway driving, that it's a bit lower. It's at 22, 23 kilometers per liter, and I averaged about 20 kilometers per liter while driving from Pasig to Pampanga, specifically Clark. So is the Corolla Cross still relevant? Of course it is, because it's something that's really comfortable to use. It's something that's perfect as a daily driver, especially when it comes to fuel economy with the high cost of fuel nowadays. And then if you're a city dweller, you just stay inside the city all the time, this is a really good car for you. It fits everything. It has everything that you need, safety, features, everything. It may not wow in terms of performance, but also being a hybrid vehicle, this is actually pretty much what started the hybrid revolution here in the Philippines. So Toyota will definitely still be selling more of these, a lot of these.